the national champion at 133 pounds, the first in program history from Vallo, Gabe Hixenbaugh.
Wrestler Gabe Hixenbaugh earns the first D2 national championship in UM athletics history. Hear his reaction to his record-setting season.
And the University Program Council Stuff a Friend event is Tuesday, where and when you can get your own fuzzy animal is coming up.
Plus, Dollar General and Target stores are eliminating or changing their self-checkout lines. What's behind these checkout changes? Vallo Vision News starts right now. Hello and welcome to Vallo Vision News. I'm Steve Haymond.
And I'm Avery Zhao. Thanks so much for watching. The wrestling team's inaugural season has ended with a big win. For the first time in Montevallo history, the Falcons are taking home a D2 Nationals Championship.
Vallo Vision News reporter Ashley Hall joins us in the studio with more.
UM wrestler Gabe Hixenbaugh won the 133-pound NCAA Division II Wrestling National Championship this past weekend in Park City, Kansas. The win makes Hixenbaugh the first ever national champion of any Division II sport at Montevallo. Hixenbaugh was able to secure the win by defeating his opponent 4-1. Being the wrestling team's first season, Hixenbaugh says the win happened at the perfect time.
You know, I feel really good. I was waiting all year and a long time to prove something like this, and you know, it feels amazing having these guys in my corner and the support I've had all year. And it's been unmatched. You know, I couldn't ask for anything better.
It's incredible. I mean, Gabe's put together an incredible season, undefeated national champ. First ever in school history, not only for our program, but for the entire school, and I couldn't be more proud of him. Just watching him work day in and day out on the mat and in the classroom, it's just exactly what we want here.
The winning match concludes Hixenbaugh's very successful season and also earns him the honor of being the first national champion in the Conference Carolinas. Hixenbaugh is from Alabaster and working towards a master's in business administration. Reporting live from the studio, I'm Ashley Hall. Steve, back to you.
Thanks, Ashley. The votes have been tallied and the Brickies are out. The Brickie Awards is an annual tradition here at the University of Montevallo. Students get to nominate their favorite faculty and staff members for various awards. The Department of Communication took home 3 awards, with Kaylee Martin winning Office Oasis, Dr. Jeff Walker winning Amazing Alum, and Dr. Sherry Ford and Dr. Sally Hardig winning Dynamic Duo. You can find all the Brickie winners on the University of Montevallo's Future Alumni of Montevallo Facebook page or at FAM Montevallo on Instagram.
Montevallo University's Program Council is hosting its annual Stuff a Friend event on Tuesday, March 19th. It is taking place at 5 p.m. on the Farmer Hall stage and patio. Come and have fun with friends and pick out a stuffed animal to make all your own. Stuffed animals will be available on first come, first served basis. And don't forget to bring your AIM card. Remember, there's always more news 24/7 on our social media pages. Just search for Vallo Vision News on Instagram, Facebook, and X.
Still ahead on today's show, see how YouTube is fighting back against the ongoing spread of artificial intelligence across the internet. What changes are coming for content creators?
Plus, cutting back on self-checkout, Target and Dollar General are making big changes to the way you shop. Why one of these companies says removing self-checkout is a good financial move. We'll have all this and more after the break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Vallo Vision News. As many UM students are preparing to enter the workplace, they'll need to think about how to work alongside people of different ages. In fact, there can be as many as 5 generations in an office right now, and in some cases, workplace attitudes don't align. Karen Kafa shows us how Gen Z is changing the modern-day workplace.
When the House overwhelmingly passed a bill that could ban TikTok in the U.S., its first Gen Z member, Maxwell Frost of Florida, was in the spotlight for his age and his no vote.
Yes, it has to do with young people, but taking a step back, I just think it's bad policy.
Frost is 27 years old. His oldest Democratic colleagues are in their 80s. The leader of his caucus, 53. The House, a high-profile example of 5 generations in a workplace. The silent generation, boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z.
We have more generations in the workplace than ever before because people are living and working longer.
That on its own creates workplace challenges, but multi-generation work expert Lindsay Pollock says the COVID-19 pandemic's disruptions added more layers, especially for Gen Z.
They just don't have that experience of being in some of the situations that maybe older generations might take for granted.
Amid talk of their more casual approach to interviews, even to showing up on time, career strategist Julie Bauke says Gen Z may have other priorities because they have so many career options.
So they are less likely to follow the edicts, the declarations of an employer because they see work as a collaborative experience, not as a top-down, you tell me what to do and I do it.
While that might irk coworkers, Bauke says Gen Z workers are taking a firmer stance on work-life balance than older generations.
This has been generationally coming, and it's finally gotten to the point where we have a generation who said, I'm willing to take a stand.
In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
YouTube will now require content creators to label videos that were made using artificial intelligence. It's part of the company's efforts to be more transparent about content that could confuse or mislead users. Now, creators will see a checklist when they upload content that appears realistic. It will ask if the video makes a person say or do something they didn't do, alters footage of a place or real event, or depicts a scene that didn't actually occur. YouTube said creators could face consequences if they repeatedly fail to add the disclosure. Some major retailers are pulling the plug or scaling back on self-checkout.
Dollar General is the latest retailer to back away from self-checkout registers. Dollar General is removing self-checkout stands in its 300 stores with the highest rates of shoplifting and merchandise losses. In 9,000 stores, some or all self-checkout registers will be converted to regular registers with cashiers. And in about 4,500 stores, self-checkout purchases will be limited to 5 items or fewer. Dollar General said the changes will help reduce losses from shoplifting.
Dollar General is not the only store changing their self-checkout regulations. The Minnesota-based retail giant Target has announced that customers will be limited to no more than 10 items if they go through the self-checkout. The change to express self-checkout went into effect on Sunday at most of the nation's 2,000 stores nationwide. Target says it piloted the express self-checkout option in 200 stores last year. They found the checkout process was twice as fast in those stores. Target also says it plans on opening more traditional lanes that are staffed by employees. Remember, there is always more news from our team of reporters on our website, ValloVisionNews.com.
That's all the time we have for today's show.
Thanks for watching and have a great spring break.